I didn't really grow up with any church, any religion, anything Christian at all. I was an atheist as long as I can remember. No God, no influence, no reason to believe. I just did me, did what I wanted to do. I was in club scene, music scene, and art scene, so from party to after party, underground, club, whatever it was, that was my lifestyle. And it was fine. I was happy doing that. I was good with it. I didn't have this void and emptiness, something that wasn't, I was good, And so I met a girl at the club, soon after that, and she had grown up Catholic, and she was like, you need God in your life. As we were drinking and smoking and hanging out, she would say, you need God. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, our life is the same. Like, what's the difference here? I don't get it. But somehow that became a dialogue in my life all of a sudden. I really didn't get it. I was just trying to push him away. Like, I thought it was a fairy tale for the weak who needed something to calm their fears of death. And I didn't feel I needed that. There came a time when I saw something on TV. I was by myself late at night, and I saw a show about a guy who was in a gang. He got shot, and he had been brought up Christian, and he prayed a prayer like, God, if you save my life, I know I need to get right. And so the show was about how this guy survived and then was getting kids out of gangs. Somehow, I just, something in me was like, I had enough of this God talk. I was by myself. I shut off the TV, and I said my first prayer ever to God, alone in my house. Hey, if you're real, then show up. Let me see you. That next week, man, I got hit like every day at the mailbox. Hey man, Jesus loves you. Hey brother, you want to come to church? And it's like everybody just hitting on me like God coming after me. I didn't even put two and two together. I prayed a prayer for God to show up, yet he was showing up that week, but I didn't get it. And then one night, my girlfriend's over, we're talking, and we have this crazy experience right there in the living room where I prayed, and this is about 2 weeks later. And God shows up. And she goes flying off the couch, and we've been taking pills and hanging out, and I had seen a lot of things, like a lot of visions and a lot of crazy stuff from drugs I took. So I knew what was real and what wasn't real, and this was crazy. And she flew off the couch. She had put on a preacher, and he started preaching, and she fell on the floor and manifested and ran to the bathroom and threw up. And like she had this encounter with something holy. And she came out of the bathroom, she began to preach to me. Like, we need Jesus in our life. The way we're living is wrong. This is not right. And before that, she was talking to me about angels and Mary and all kinds of stuff. But this time there was conviction. As she spoke to me, I began to feel a presence I never felt before. And it was this beautiful, I can't explain it. It was just this beauty that felt like I was safe in the arms of someone. And I knew it was the arms of God. And I cried, man. I just bawled my eyes out, and I wasn't a crying dude, I was a tough guy. I was like not a crier. And I had this feeling of love all around me, this presence of God that I felt so safe and so protected. And I had this vision of God in that way. And I knew that he was calling me, come and be with me, come and follow me. And I knew it was Jesus. And the next night I met a guy. He walked into my job. I was like late at night. I was high again. I was working third shift. And this guy's just glowing. And he's like, man, let me tell you about Jesus. And he tells me he's a drug dealer. He was. And his girlfriend was a stripper, and how he met Jesus and his life is all turned around. And I'm like, what? He's like, man, God has a call for you on your life, and he's calling you in. You gotta come and meet him. I'm like, okay. So I call my girlfriend, hey, we're gonna go to church with this dude. She hears the gospel, she falls on her face and cries and gives her heart to Jesus. And I just said, if you can do anything with this life, it's yours. And I felt him rush in and fill me. I was hard, and somehow emotion filled me again, and I felt amazing, and love had exploded in my life again. Joy had taken over who I was, It was amazing, and slowly all these things, all these addictions and things, they weren't the same. I took a drink like a few days later, and it was like, this doesn't feel right. We got high, we went to the club. It just wasn't the same. Like, what are we doing here? We're wasting our life. What are all these people doing here? They're all wasting their life. And our eyes began to be open. And from the inside out, God changed our desires and began to transform who we were. I married that girl, a girlfriend, and we've been married for 20 years now. And it's beautiful, man. And my family, my life, it's ongoing. These experiences with him, the transformation of my heart and my life, it's unbelievable what God has done in my heart and my mind, and continues to show up in my life every day. I'm Scott, and that's my one story.